Okay, everybody. Move that a little bit. Yeah, but like I said, I know you're going to be thinking, Kristen Stewart of Twilight? That's crazy. I'm not, well, I think she's Twilight, I'm not sure, but I truly believe, you give that girl the right opportunity, she could shine. It's just my opinion, though. Just my opinion. I'm not saying that, if she would have to be chosen or top, right off the bat, be like the first choice. But we've all seen that actors and actresses who have been mostly known for dramatic roles or these kind of roles, like these kind of Twilight-like roles, that if you say, hey, I want you to star in I want you to have a major role in a romantic comedy or a spoof comedy I'm going to do. And they say, sure, go ahead, and they'll be like, okay, sure. That would be the opportunity they'd be looking for because it would allow them to open up more. You know? It would allow them, again, like I said, to open up more. It would allow them to be more than just, oh, this character that's this and that. Yeah, she was in Twilight, that's the thing. But like I said, someone like her could really be given an opportunity like this with a romantic comedy kind of situation, with the plot that with the plot that it's dealing with, and could really open up. If you know what I'm saying. I mean, to me, it's the perfect, vehicle for someone like her to get out of that Twilight-like environment and go elsewhere and prove they can be more than just this sappy teen drama actress and be more. Now, again, the other ones I can mention, Anne Hathaway, Lily Collins, Amy Adams, they've proven that it can be comedic gold. There's no doubt about that. So to me, those top four ladies are the top four candidates, in my opinion, if Hollywood was to do an actual remake of the classic Invisible Woman film that deals with invisibility and not just has the title there and it's something else, but actually deals with invisibility and, in my opinion, is the perfect vehicle for a romantic comedy, if family friendly, if not romantic comedy, period. Then it's perfect. Then these actresses would be perfect, any one of them, in my opinion. In my opinion. Now you might say, well, what about, let's say, you might say to yourself, well, what about possibly the love interest, the male, the counterpart? Well, you see, that's a good question in itself. Who would play the male? Who would be like the male equivalent? Who would be the counterpart, like you said, to the characters? Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. I had to put the bird in the other room. He likes to make noise either when I'm doing a video or watching TV or my mom's watching TV. But anyway, the male lead. Well, you see, that to me is a good toss-up because there's a lot of young actors here in Hollywood that could really use a break in, well, not really could use a break, but could really, be a good counterpart to any one of those four ladies. For example, I think, let's say Matthew McConaughey, in my opinion, would be a great counterpart to whoever there. Okay, maybe he's a little too older, but you get the idea. Um, that's just one. Justin Timberlake, he's proven that he's a good actor at times. Could definitely benefit from being in that kind of role, in opposite of the lead character. Who else? Joseph Gordon-Levitt, would be a good choice. And who else? Let's see. Heck, if you want to pair him back up again, in my opinion, pair up Jason Morrison again. He did a great job opposite of Amy Adams, if you will, in Enchanted. So why not put him back in there? Put him back in a film with her, if that was the case. And to me, those would be the top 4 young actors, in my opinion, that could counter those top 4 young actresses that I'm thinking of. Because I truly believe if given the right opportunity, any one of those 4 actresses could pull off a great invisible woman. And again, not just, in a movie that just has the title and has nothing to do with it, but an actual romantic comedy remake of the classic film. In my opinion, these are just my opinions. You guys can let me know what yours are, but these are just my opinions of who I feel could really pull it off. Now, another film that I feel is definitely due for a remake on a more national, worldwide level. Speaking of invisibility, let's talk about Invisible Kid. Now, everybody that probably knows about this film knows that it was made in the 1980s, the mid to late 80s, and it featured Jay Underwood, China Phillips, and Wilson Phillips, and Karen Black. Now, to me, there's a lot of young actors and actresses that could definitely pull off this situation. A lot of young actors and actresses. But the question is, who do I see could really pull it off? Well, I'll tell you this. I'm going to give you my top candidates right now. To be quite honest with you, my top candidates, as crazy as this is going to sound, is the star of Nickelodeon's iCarly, Miranda. I think that's her name, Miranda. She would be the perfect, in my opinion, female love interest for the title character in to me a more box office big budget remake of Invisible Kid. And again, I'm not talking about a movie that just has the title in there and has nothing to do with it, but deals with the actual but actually has invisibility in there. And to me, Miranda Cosgrove or Jeanette McCurdy, any one of those two could be a perfect love interest counterpart to the title character. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, they just came off Nickelodeon. Wouldn't that be a big jump for them? Well, they've proven they can act in movies. There's no doubt about it. Whether it's television movies or theatrical films, they've proven it. But now the question would be, okay, you will have your possible 2 lead. You possibly have only. Okay, now the question would be, okay, you have your female love interest. Who are you going to have as the title character? Well, let's take a look. I know there was a movie that came out that got a huge ovation and everything when it came out. Out in theaters. The Hunger Games, right? Now I gotta find who the lead male is in this, because I think this person would be perfect. And I'm just going by what people have said. Trying to see here. Okay, also if you want to throw in a third candidate for the lead love interest, throw in Jennifer Lawrence if you want to. but trying to find, I know there's somebody in here. Oh, here you go. Josh Hutcherson. He would make a good Invisible Kid if you wanted to go in that direction. He would make a good Invisible Kid. You know, and again, there's probably a list of young actors out there that could definitely pull it off too. Like Wes Bentley. Yeah, he's a year older than me, but he could probably pull it off. Again, there's just so many out there, I can't really think of them that much, but to me, you know, these are the, and if you can name any, let me know down below, comment, but to me, the top three, I honestly think, and especially the top two, have to be the two girls out of iCarly to really take, to me, to really take that lead right there and get that opportunity. Now you might say, well, what about Selena Gomez? She could do it. Yeah, she could do it as well. I'm not saying she can't. And, you know, give her the opportunity she could. You know, Kristen Carson Romano hasn't been seen a lot lately. Give her the opportunity. Miley Cyrus, if you will, has proven she could be a serious actor if she can be. You know, give her the opportunity if you wanted to. But to me, the top candidates, in my opinion, both come from iCarly because they have proven they can be funny, they can prove they can pull it off, and they prove they can be dramatic. So I truly think you give it to one of those two, and they could truly pull it off, in my opinion. And again, I just named off a few male young actors, if you will, that could play the title character of the Invisible Kid, if you will. Again, in a movie that, it's not just the title and has nothing to do with it, but it's a movie that deals, it's a family-friendly movie that deals with invisibility. Now you could say, well, you could make it I know you could think, well, they could make that CGI, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, they could. They can make it an all CGI animated film, but I think because we have the technology we have today, it'd be great to make it live action and deal with what you're dealing as well. But it's been proven that CGI can be really effective, especially in those kind of cases. So that's just my opinion there. Another remake, I think, and this is an anime that I think could definitely use a live action remake, Ghost in the Shell. Now I know you're thinking, well, Brian, it technically had a live action remake with the Matrix trilogy. Yeah, it did sort of have that live action remake with the Matrix, but I'm talking, you know, but I'm talking basically a live action remake of the film that inspired that did inspire the Matrix. That inspired the Wachowski brothers to make the Matrix. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about, oh, this and that. I'm talking about a legit remake of Ghost in the Shell. That's what I feel needs to be done. That's what I feel. And there's a lot of actresses out there that could play the lead role. Again, go back to Sandra Bullock. She would be great as the lead character. You know, Jennifer Lawrence would be great as the lead character. You know, Anne Hathaway, again, would be great as the lead character. And the list could just go on and on of who would be great in that role. And I truly believe that's what they need to do. You know, Jennifer Lopez would be great in that role. Trying to think, what would be great in that role? Trying to think who else. Trying to think who else would be great in that lead role, that title character, if you will. But I truly believe any one of those ladies that I mentioned could pull it off. There's no doubt about it. They could pull it off.